All right, as you all know, that there is definitely a lack of luster when it comes to aftermarket parts for Cfmoto. And it doesn't really matter what you're talking about. I mean, it seems like it's a broad thing. Hoping that people start producing things for it because it is becoming a pretty popular machine, including my own. I kind of like the Z950. Some people may not like it. It doesn't have enough power, this, that, blah, 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 blah. Who really cares? It's what you like. As long as you're riding, who cares? I don't give a crap if you're riding a tricycle in the woods. It's all good. So what I'm doing today is I'm decided to make some fender flares because there isn't any for the Z950 that I'm aware of that are worth putting on, I guess. So I'm going to try to make them because as you see my tire sticking out here and you see the existing fender flare here, well, I got about 3 or 4 inches of sticking out that just seems to end up on me sitting here. And excuse the way the machine looks because I've got my roll cage off being worked on. I'll show that in another video maybe. And the rear is the same thing, which I'm not as concerned about the rear as much as I am the front, because that's a lot of tires sticking out and it's a lot of mud it flings. So I made here's how I did it. I don't know how anybody else would do it, but I made a template out of cardboard, sitting right here. And I decided what I wanted. And I wanted it to sit here on the existing fender flare, that whatever you want to call this thing, and then I wanted something to go under here to keep this mud from flicking back on me as well. So I made this cardboard jig. Let's see if I can get you a spot where you can see it. And I decided that I'm going to set it something similar to this. It's going to sit on my existing fender flare there. That thing. Just follow this contour right there, and I'm going to have it come out and anchor up under there. And what's it going to look like? I don't really know yet. If it looks too funny, I'll take it off. That's all I have to do. But I need some sort of protection, and as it sits right now, this will give me a lot more protection covering up that tire. And it's black ABS, so it'll look pretty good. So I have made cut out of one template. I made one template, or I'm sorry, one flare. I'm going to see how it fits, and you can use any way you want. You can cut it with a saw or a jigsaw, whatever you choose. You're not cutting this with a razor knife because that is pretty thick. That's 1/8 inch thick ABS, and it's of course shiny on one side, which I don't want, and textured on the other. I use a old cutting wheel from my grinder, Harbor Freight special. A lot of my tools are Harbor Freight. They're not that bad. People make fun of them all the time, but whatever. I'm going to actually take my Harbor Freight heat gun. Pretty sure I got that from Harbor Freight. And I'm going to heat up the bend that I'm going to need to fit in that gap right here. Right there. That's a pretty hard turn. It's better than a 45, so if it's 50 to 55 degrees or something like that, and I will get that made and then I'll check back in. I just got done heating it up on the heat gun. It contoured quite nicely. It's going to fit in here nice and tight. As you can see, this and here is going to fold up to this. I'm going to use the little push pins and push it up here into the fender underneath, of course, and then some reason there's a bolt hole there. I might send up something through this as well. A couple other spots to just use the little, like little factory push pins that they have on the machine. I'll give them a shot. I'll get a couple holes drilled and show you what's next. All right, got the first one complete. Put a couple of these extra snap pins in here underneath to lock it in, nice and solid. This is a 1/4 inch ABS. Shot 1, 2, 3, 4 here on this. Actually covers quite nicely now. Let me get this down a little straight. Maybe a bit too far out, I'm not sure. I may end up having to trim it up about 1 inch all the way up and out through here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but I probably might. I can't be sure. It doesn't look half bad. Looks quite nice. I'm pretty content with it. It's going to keep the mud off me for sure. Anchored nice and solid. It's not gonna pull off. You can see here it's pretty darn solid. Pretty happy about that. I said I may end up cutting about an inch off. Looks like I might be out a bit too far, but I'll see. Get the second one done and see what it looks like. Starting to get dark in here, and I don't have any more lights than what you see there. But here's my template line. Make sure when you cut this second sheet that you flip it over so you don't cut two of the same, one side shiny here and one side textured. So you have to flip it over and cut it opposite on a second sheet, which sucks. I was hoping to get two cuts out of one. So here we go. I'm going to cut it with the grinder and cut it slow. As you can see, it has a lot of big burrs and stuff that, like I said, they just peel off and break. And some of you may want to wear gloves or something if you got tender hands or whatever. But just like that, it'll peel off. And let me get it ready to be mounted. Alright, so here's my final cuts on the fender flares. I think they turned out pretty okay. They'll definitely keep the mud off of me from the front anyway. I haven't figured out nothing out for the back yet, but I'll get to it. Let's take a look at this. Turned out real nice, in my opinion. Little plastic rivets, whatever the heck they're called. Got a few of them up under here as well. Take if you can see them. I hope you can see them. A little wide maybe, but like I said, if I have to, I can always cut an inch or so off all the way down if I think it's too much. Here's the other side again. So it turned out quite nice in my opinion. Keeps the mud off of me anyway. That's the most important thing. I can't see my tire though. That's the only thing that sucks. When we're crawling over rocks and stuff, I need to be able to see some of that tire. So an inch of this may have to come off. Still not sure yet because I'm flush with the tires, you can see here. And it may be just a bit too much, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. I'll put a link in the description below for where I got the ABS plastic 1/4 inch mil. Yeah, 1/4 inch thick. I'll put also a link for the Amazon where I got the plastic rivets. And hope you enjoyed it.